Apple, or even, yeah, Apple. Like Apple's having a solid move, but the volume's only, 34,000, 30,000. That's like pretty average.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's hit it. And good morning. We're live. For everyone on YouTube, thanks for tuning in, guys. Give us a like and subscribe to our channel. It is the last week of April, and then we're rolling into the 5th month of the year. Time is flying, and this is going to be a very busy week. So we've got huge earnings. Let me just share this on my screen with the recording. We've got Tesla reporting earnings later this afternoon. Then tomorrow morning we're waking up to GE, UPS, Crocs, before the opening bell. Then we've got AMD, Microsoft, Google, Pinterest, Visa, Starbucks. Then on Wednesday we've got Apple, Facebook, Boeing. You guys get the point. And then Thursday, I know a lot of people are waiting for that NEO, Amazon. So it's a really, really busy week for earnings. And on the economic side, we've got a lot of stuff coming on too. So Wednesday, the FOMC will be giving their announcement on the meeting that starts on Tuesday. Then of course on Thursday we get more jobless claims reports, we get GDP numbers, and then Friday we get inflation numbers. So this week we've got a busy week with economic news and the Federal Reserve. Let's see if the Federal Reserve says anything that surprises the markets. And then you've got the biggest companies in the stock market reporting earnings. So get ready. It's going to be a busy week, but I think that just presents more opportunities for us to make good money. So let's get right at with the A list. My first stock I'm going to cover is Coin. Why? Bitcoin has been getting smashed, and if you look at this morning, Bitcoin has had a really nice bounce. I think like a 7,000 point bounce. And Coin is gapping up, 16 points? And I like what it's doing here. If we see Coin break out of like 307, 308, I'll go long, and I'll throw my stops at like 304. What's really cool about Coin now? Weekly options contracts are available. Before it was just monthly contracts. Now we've got weekly. So it's going to be fun to trade Coin now with options. That I'm really excited about. So I'm definitely going to get my hands dirty with it. And with Bitcoin, having this nice rebound, I want to see Coin test 310. Why 310? Because if you see when it IPO'd, 310 was the low on the day it IPO'd. If we can reclaim 310 and hold it and really break out of it, I think you can see 315, 320 on Coin. Let's see if that happens today. Coin had a really nice bounce off of like 275 range, 280 range. And let's see if the buyers want to come in. So Coin is definitely going to be on my A list, especially with the momentum that Bitcoin has, at least on the short-term bounce. It's still trending to the downside a little bit, but let's see how it goes today. OCGN. We've been having a lot of fun with this one the past couple days. We've made good money off of it. This has so much volatility, so much volume. On Friday, in the middle of the day, you can see here at 3 p.m. they issued an offering, $10 per share. They raised $100 million. The stock had a downside halt, traded down to about 9 and change. But then look at the after hours. It rallied back up to above 11. And it's gapping up this morning, and it's holding. So really what I want to see is I want to see OCGN hold this support of 11 bucks. If we can see OCGN hold 11, and especially this pre-market low of like 1080, we're going to have a nice bounce on it today. So I read an article this morning that OCGN is increasing the prices of their COVID vaccine for the Indian market, and that just means potentially more revenue for the company. So let's see what happens with OCGN today. It's definitely on my A list. I'm dedicating a whole chart just for OCGN, and I'm not going to change that chart because I really like the momentum and the pre-market volume as well. Another stock is going to be MVIS. Where is my MVIS? Let me have it here. MVIS, I did play it a little bit in pre-market. Nothing crazy, just a little scalp. But I like that it's gapping up. You have a pre-market high of 21 bucks. So if we see MVIS hold this zone, which it is, like the $20 range, let's break it out. Pre-market high, 21 bucks. And that would be at least a 5-day high from the previous momentum. But if you pull up a 1-year chart, you can see that MVIS on the daily has no resistance until about 21.40, 22 range. And then if we can just break out of that, you're going to see 24 bucks plus on MVIS. So I really like MVIS for another day in it. The reason why it's moving is because of the recent contract from Microsoft with the Pentagon. MVIS is, I think it's a supplier or a partner with Microsoft on that deal. And of course, you've got the Reddit community all over this one. So I like MVIS to the upside. If we see this stock just sell off, look for like the 1930 range. If it doesn't hold the 1930 range, $19, it'll sell off and potentially gap fill. So that's what I'm looking for on MVIS. Another stock, Tesla. Why? They report earnings this afternoon. It's already getting bought up into the day, and I'm going to keep an eye on it. Tesla, you guys know, I love trading Tesla, so there's no secret with that one. If we pull up a little chart here, okay, so if Tesla wants to break out, look for definitely like a bull flag setup here, which it currently has at the moment. I can see Tesla, breaking out to 745, maybe even 750, right? I don't know if it'll trade higher than that into the earnings report, but you've got analysts and Jim Cramer on CNBC saying buy Tesla into earnings. So who knows? You might get a little frenzy here on Tesla with people trying to get into the stock before the earnings. I think they're anticipating a pretty strong beat on Tesla earnings, but you can't pay me to trade Tesla into earnings. To me, earnings reports are a gamble. So I don't do that. I will trade it before, after, and all around it, but not into earnings. To me, that's a no-go. Another stock that I'm going to keep an eye on is DLPN, and just the NFT names in general, like TKAT and all them, because on Friday and Thursday they had some momentum. And look at DLPN at like 2 o'clock on Friday. This thing rallied from like $9 and change to almost 13 bucks. Ethereum and Bitcoin are getting a nice bounce today. And if DLPN wakes up again, right now in pre-market it's done nothing, but it's still holding close to the previous day closing price. So if we could see DLPN break out of 12 bucks and the volume is looking good, like every 5-minute candlestick has like over 100,000 shares being traded, I'm gonna get in it. So I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on this one. Let me see, how many stocks did I cover? I did OCGN, MVIS, DLPN, Tesla. I'm going to keep an eye on Futu. Why Futu? Bank of America came out with an analyst upgrade on it. And I want to see if Futu reacts to that analyst note. So Bank of America gave it a $195 price target, which is a 50-point upside to it. I'm not in love with the idea because they recently did an offering and the stock sold off from almost 180 to 135. It got crushed. So let's just see kind of what it does today. Based on the setup at the moment, it would have to break out of like the 146 range for me to even get interested in it. Put stops at 144. You're risking 2 points on the trade, not a big deal. If it breaks below 144, we can go in for a short. It might find support at like 142. So, this is not a high conviction trade, but you know, it's one of those names I'm gonna keep an eye on. So, with that, let me pass it on to Taj. I think I covered my A list for today. I'll also keep an eye on Apple and Microsoft because on the daily charts, these stocks are setting up for a nice breakout. They are reporting earnings this week, so I'm sure the breakouts won't occur until the earnings reports. And if they have blowout earnings, I mean, the bull flags that they're setting up on the daily look really damn good, especially Microsoft. I'm telling you right now, if Microsoft beats earnings this week, this stock is going to $300. It's like set up to just do that. So let me pass it on to you, bro.
Yeah, Microsoft, just the tech industry as a whole, looks really, really strong, which is the main reason I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on the NASDAQ, on the Qs, along with the SPYs, but specifically the NASDAQ, because NASDAQ is very similar to a lot of these tech names. They're consolidating up here right at the all-time highs. The all-time high on NASDAQ is 342.23. Currently at 339.30, and we're setting up for a nice bounce off the 8 MA. If you check here on the daily chart, it has yet to give up the 8 MA. It's really just hanging off of a cliff here, but the momentum is to the upside. So one of the things that I will be doing this morning is starting a swing position in the Qs going into the earnings. And the reason I'm picking the Qs over individual names is because, like Alex said, if you're playing an individual name, Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, you're taking a pure gamble on it into earnings. Whereas if you're going into the Qs, you have a more variety of exposure. So if one stock does great and the other goes bad, maybe it still has a positive impact on the Qs. You're not as heavily committed to one name. So other than that, the way I'll be looking at the Qs for a day trade is it actually has a nice bull flag forming here right before the open. Very small range between 339.40 and about 339, let's say 20. So you're looking at about a 20-cent range. So if we can get a breakout above that high, I think the Qs can bounce. We are right near Friday's high of around 340.77. Obviously the Qs had a very strong day on Friday after that sell-off on Thursday. And we fully recovered it and then broke an even higher high than the Thursday high. So all signs are pointing to a market bounce. You guys can look at the video that Alex posted yesterday, by the way, on YouTube, going over kind of why that's happening and how we played the short position on it. But this thing is really gearing up for a takeoff. I think we're going to have another big rally in the market, considering, this is assuming that we don't have any bad economic news come out, right? At any point that can happen, but as of now, things remain consistent. I think we're going to continue this uptrend. Another name that I'll be watching is a name that we played quite a few times last week, and that's SKLZ. SKLZ closed Friday at $18.17. We're currently closing pretty much right at that price, $18.10. And the reason I want to keep an eye on it is because there was actually a report that came out earlier today about SKLZ showing why Kathy Woods is bullish on SKLZ. And pretty much what the report said is that Skills has been a victim of misunderstanding after the short sellers came out and pretty much said they had some bad practices going on. Nonetheless, SKLZ had a really good day on Friday, and I do expect that to continue today if this news holds up. The volume looks pretty decent. It's not amazing, but it looks pretty decent. But I want to see if we can catch this for a momentum play. On Friday, the high was 1887. The pre-market high is around 1845. So I would like to see SKLZ break above that level first before even considering a long. But if we do, we can definitely go long. We'd have to throw our stops around $18, maybe $18.10 if we want to keep it a little tighter, and see if we can test that high. If we can break out of that high, no resistance until around 1955. And if we break that, I mean, we have room to the upper Bollinger Band around $20.50. So SKLZ, I want to see how it behaves out of the gates. If it's going to have a lot of volume come in and also break above that level. If it does, then definitely look to go long SKLZ. Another name I'll be watching is NEO. NEO, we started the swing trade in this position last week. I know a few of you are still holding, and congratulations. I mean, closed Friday at $41, gapped up to $42. And NEO is hot. NEO has a lot of momentum. This is the third day up, so I would consider maybe scaling out of some of your position here if you hadn't already. And just be mindful that NEO does report earnings this week.
Yep.
NEO reports earnings on Thursday after the close, so definitely make sure that you sell your position by then. You don't want to be holding NEO into earnings because anything can happen, right? But as of now, NEO has a very nice consolidation that's happening here since around 715, 720. Pretty much a range of about $41.70 and $42. So if NEO can break out above $42, we can definitely go long, throw our stops around $41.80, $41.70. And on the daily chart, there is no resistance until around, we break $42, $45. There's nothing until $45. We'll be trading a little above the Bollinger Band, but that's okay. It's okay to do that for a day, maybe two. So if NEO does break out, look for the price target of around, let's say $43, $44. If you want to get too greedy, especially on a Monday, let's just get some green on the board.
Mm-hmm.
But NEO nonetheless does have a good amount of potential to break out if it does hold that $42 level. Another stock I'll be watching is AMC. AMC is having a pretty nice gap up, closed yesterday or Friday at $10.16. We're gapping up to about $10.60. We did hit $10.75 about an hour ago, and you're getting a bull flag form here right off the 20-period moving average. So first things first, I would like to see AMC break that high of $10.75. If we do break that high at $10.75, we can go long through our stops around $10.60. And one thing to keep in mind about AMC is $11 is a key level. AMC has been rejected off of $11. I don't know how many times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 times. But here's the thing. If AMC can hold $12 or $11, if it can break it and hold it, I think this is going to go in on another run. Especially you see some of these Wall Street Bet stocks moving a lot. I know Wall Street Bets is, they're into MVIS and OCGN, a lot of these names. So keep in mind that a lot of these people can come back and visit these names because AMC, for what it's worth, has been holding pretty nicely despite that big sell-off it had from $20. I know it went from, $1 up to $20, pulled back down, to $5. But look what's been happening. We have higher lows starting to be hit on this stock. If you look at the bigger time picture over the span of about 3 months here, we have higher lows hitting, and we've seen this key level get tested a few times. So if AMC can break and hold that $11, I might even hold this for a swing. I'll keep an eye on it to see how it behaves throughout the day, but definitely keep an eye on this because I think this is a stock that if it can start picking up momentum, this could turn into a big runner in the near future. Other than that, let me see if there's any other names. Okay, nope, that's pretty much it for my list. I want to keep it very simple. Tech stocks, a lot of the small cap names, MBIS, OCGN, and SKLZ. Those are pretty much going to be my big three. And then NEO, I'm going to be watching very closely, and the triple Qs.
All right. Yeah, we've got a good A list, and there's a bunch of B list stocks. Keep an eye on the airlines and cruise lines. They're gapping up, so they can potentially be some good trades as well. In those sectors, I'd keep an eye on American Airlines and Carnival Cruise Lines. Carlos is saying FCEL is popping. Keep an eye on Moderna. There's a lot of names, right? But as traders, we can't have our attention be on like 20 different stocks, right? We've got to stay laser focused on our top 4, our top 6. So that way we're really focused on the entry and profit taking zones, right? So with that being said, for everyone on YouTube, thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you later with the trade of the day, and let's close out the week strong. Let's get it.